Good morning, good afternoon rather. You're watching Halftime Report. I'm Manglam Malu. With me, Ekta Batra from home. Well, we're halfway through the trading session, but importantly, the first half of trading session was just playing catch up to yesterday's decline. And thereafter, there has been a stellar recovery that we've seen for all the indices. The Nifty is back into the green, holding above that 14,300 mark, telling you that the range between 14,150 to 14,200, the support has been maintained. The Nifty Bank has been the one which has actually shown the most amount of recovery, almost 720 points from the lows. And as we speak, we're moving into the business end of today's trading session, because remember, towards the last hour, we will also have the weekly options expiry play out. A lot of calls were written, a lot of long calls were unbound. So let's see whether the market would face some hurdle above that 14,350 to 14,400 mark or not. But for now, we do have a fair amount of recovery. Some lines coming in from the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal saying Delhi has no oxygen manufacturing unit. Also, we got, Sangeeta Reddy's comments saying that they request the government to declare oxygen tankers as ambulances and allow them to move freely. Delhi is indeed a critical, situation where tankers are stuck at the Haryana border, perhaps due to the protests out there as well. So we will watch out for the situation as it pans out. Definitely not looking like a happy situation. In fact, on the contrary, a rather grim situation in the national capital. As far as the markets are concerned, however, we're seeing a recovery in the mid-cap end of things as well. What we'll do is take note of all the top stories that we're tracking and then get cracking on all the individual stocks and news pieces. Stocks recover from lows as India reports the highest ever single-day increase in COVID cases in any country. But all indices see significant buying at lows. Metal, pharma and IT stocks gain while financials and cyclicals lag. Firm global steel demand, likelihood of another domestic price hike and a stellar showing by Tata Steel subsidiaries provide ammunition to the bulls. Tata Steel and JSW Steel among top Nifty gainers, but steelmakers worry about a likely fall in volumes due to oxygen shortage and lockdowns. Leading auto distributors tell CNBC TV18 that 2021 could well turn out worse than 2020, especially for two-wheeler makers as the second COVID wave hits demand drivers and consumer sentiment. COVID has hit consumer incomes and hence demand is impacted, says Amul's RS Sodhi to CNBC TV18, says that demands from the hotels, restaurants and canteen segment has fallen very sharply by 50% month on month, though demand for milk and essentials has gone up. Both Amul and Parle do say that there isn't much demand from pantry stocking this time around. FMCG stocks slipped despite good Nestle numbers. Wockhardt is in talks with some vaccine makers and will start production in India in 6 months, says the company chairman Habeel Khorakiwala. Also hinted support to 400 rupees per dose announced by Serum Institute, saying the cost is minor compared to the losses without a vaccine. Right, so let's get talking about all the stocks that we're tracking this afternoon. Dr. Reddy's is the stock that continues to surge up 2% in another otherwise weak market as well. Ekta, what has the stock excited? It's continuing to gain from the last couple of trading sessions.
Well, there is a Jefferies note which has come out, Manglam, and it indicates that Serum's price point bodes well for the Sputnik launch in India. The low pricing was the chief concern when it came to the viability of the vaccine for Dr. Reddy's. And if Serum had come at a low price point for the private market, Sputnik would have found it difficult to gain market share. So at around $8 per dose, the private market can generate around $1.4 billion in terms of revenue, including the channel margin. Dr. Reddy's can potentially generate around $200 million EBITDA from the Sputnik vaccine, which can add around 30% to their FY22 estimated EBITDA. They, however, await price disclosures from Dr. Reddy's, which is expected before 1st May, before they adjust their estimates.
All right, Ekta, thanks a lot for that. That's not all. In fact, staying with the pharmaceutical space, COVID and vaccines, that entire space has been abuzz over the last couple of days. We also spoke with Habeel Khorakiwala of Wockhardt, which has a fill and finish contract for the COVID vaccine with the UK government. Speaking with us earlier, he said that he's hopeful of rolling out vaccines in India in the next 6 to 8 months. Also hinted at a partnership that he may have for the vaccines.
We are in discussion to manufacture in India the both drug substance and drug product in our facilities. And we are at an advanced stage of discussion. And I think as soon as we finalize the contract, we would be announcing, and that could be a very significant quantity we would be manufacturing. And this would probably be available for India and the other markets in the world. We are in a state of technology transfer at this point in time and finalizing agreement. So I think in next 6 to 8 months, we should be rolling out the vaccine once the agreement is finalized. Reality is that there is not enough vaccine capacity available in the world. Whatever vaccine capacity was there, most of the countries, most of the vaccine manufacturing capacity is already blocked for next 6 to 9 months or even more. So there is very little vaccine is likely to be made available quickly for our needs.
All right, we're not done with pharmaceutical space yet. The street can't get enough of that. That's the only one that has been a buzz over the last few trading sessions. And now let's talk about a CNBC TV 18 exclusive, where we understand that Gland Pharma is the one which has begun production of Remdesivir. Ekta broke the story, has all these details for us. Ekta.
Well, yes, Gland Pharma is in focus, and sources have told me that they have begun production of Remdesivir for the Indian market. They, in fact, began production of Remdesivir around 2 to 3 weeks ago, and currently they're producing it for Mylan. The production capacity is around 600,000 to 700,000 vials per month as of now, and sources tell me that they're looking to probably increase production capacity as well. We did reach out to Gland Pharma. They do not have a comment on this story, but Mylan did confirm this story to us, and according to the people I've spoken to, the primary reason is to increase production capacity of this key drug during COVID-19 in India.
All right, Ekta, from pharma, let's move on to the financial space, which has staged a dramatic recovery. But amongst all of that, the one stock that held tall all since today's trading session, all through today's trading session, was Indiabulls Housing Finance, up almost 10% in an otherwise weak market. Abhishek joins in with the details on their tie-up with HDFC.
Well, Indiabulls Housing Finance has tied up with HDFC Limited for co-lending model. So, in this, Indiabulls Housing will originate retail home loans as per joint credit policy, of which, 80% will go into the books of HDFC Limited, while 20% of the book will be with Indiabulls Housing Finance. We wrote to the management of Indiabulls Housing, who said that, co-lending is the way going forward, given the fact that it is ROE accretive as they get spread without any capital consumption. Back to you.
Okay, all right, Abhishek. Thanks very much for that. On that note, we need to take a break. But up next, we're going to get you stocks in focus on account of earnings. Stay tuned.
When bright young minds